Hi guys, so we're back for another video on the Book of Shadows series, and today we're going over the 13 Goals of a Witch, which we just kind of went over them a little bit, and we agree and disagree, as usual. And we're using a different camera, so... Oh. There we go.
I liked it better the other way.
So, of course, as the title says, we're going to read 13 different goals, and we've kind of shortened them, as you can see, the highlightedness. So we kind of took what we thought was the more important part of the goal, and
or
the basic part, just so that, one, this wasn't a bajillion minute long video, and two, just so we could talk more about what we thought about them. So, what?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm extremely tired. It's like 8:30 and
You're an old man.
I am an old man. I've been at work all day. Today was your day off. You got to relax at home.
Yeah, I did. I earned it.
But she has to work on the weekends.
Okay, back to the task at hand. So, goal number 1 is know yourself.
Take time to learn about yourself. So in other words, step back and examine yourself, your life, your goals, and what you want, and who you really are.
I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. I think it's kind of a good idea to kind of figure out
where you're going in your life and what you want out of it in the end.
Yeah, like what your goals are.
Maybe every once in a while just take a step back and reflect on everything.
And so, I mean, that would be good even if you're not a witch. Classify yourself as one. What call you? I mean, we do that even with our relationship. We have like a 5-year plan for our relationship, and that's just knowing what we want. And it's a way to keep us focused on that. Right? So just know...
And we've reevaluated it multiple times. Just changed it up. You still have to fit your wants and your needs around the necessities that is of living. Yeah, I'm tired.
You just start talking about being sleepy.
I am.
Okay, so hopefully that one makes sense. It was pretty self-explanatory. Know yourself. Number 2, know your craft.
Study and practice the craft. Through exploring the different aspects and theories of the craft, you will become more adept and begin to form your own theories and practices that work best for you.
Isn't this what the whole channel's about? So, you can begin by calling yourself Wicca, as, some on YouTube have, and then they've ended up not classifying themselves as that anymore, but just as a witch. Which, I mean, is fine. It's a basic place to start.
Why does there have to be a label, right? I mean,
right.
It doesn't matter, personally. We've had this discussion about many topics. Just a word in the end of the day.
Yeah, and I mean, life is all about what's best for you, and the best way for you to go about doing it. So that goes hand in hand with number 1, know yourself, but you should know your craft. So some things are going to work for you that doesn't work for somebody else.
Like us. She likes the oracle decks, whereas I prefer tarot cards. And that's okay. So if it ever comes out that she wants to do a tarot reading, I draw cards. Other way around as well. That's just how it works. And if you don't like any of that and you just like to honestly just read and give a little shout to the god and goddess, and that's okay.
Yeah, and just know that whatever you choose in, make sure that you've done your looking into it. That you're choosing it for the reasons that you want to choose it. Like, don't let anybody say that, if we were to have a kid.
Let's hope.
And, we're eclectic. But...
Say our child wants to go to church one day and learn about God, Christian God. That's okay. I will sit in that church, and I don't have to believe it to sit there, and I don't have to discriminate against it either.
No.
Just
Whatever you choose, just know your faith. Just know that you are true to whoever you're praying to or whatever you believe, and these are your reasons why.
Exactly.
Number 3 is learn.
The learning never ends when you are a witch. Read and study everything that you can and never dismiss any knowledge out of hand. You never know where a revelation may be hiding. That's just kind of what we went over.
Yeah. And I mean, like,
even if you
anybody
don't have resources.
Yeah. You can't ever use the excuse that you don't whatever, because, I mean, just thinking on something even is learning something, because your brain is an amazing thing, and there might be something in there that you've picked up or seen somewhere. You don't know that you know. Just like I studied anatomy in school and I was in college, and I could probably, at the moment, not name out all the bones in the body, but at one point I could, so it's still in there somewhere. But, yeah.
Yeah, and even, I mean, for the first 6 months of me calling myself a Wicca, I had read half of a book, and that was just, right? I mean, it goes on for years, ever,
Yeah.
right? So it's...
I was telling this one that, to me, the day you stop learning is the day you die, because...
I don't even think that's true, to a point.
I mean, nobody's perfect. Perfect is just a word. Perfect is not an actual reality.
It's one of those lovely labels we were talking about.
Exactly. I think it was in the last video that we were talking about how the law of return and the law of karma, I think you read that one part about there's nothing that we've done or are going to do that the gods and goddesses themselves have not done.
Have not done or not
so they're
predict
just,
will do.
They're just as flawed as we are, and they continue to learn. Just like a parent can try to teach their child so many things, whatever, but they can come home and just say something out of the blue, and you end up learning something from your child.
Exactly, and that's...
So you never stop learning.
Exactly, and just like, everyone else, even though no matter what you read, no matter what you hear, it's like a child, you've got to make your own mistakes. You've got to learn your own way. Right? No person learns the exact same way.
Yeah. Number 4 is apply knowledge with wisdom. And the explanation of this one just kind of made me go... So, pretty much how I would understand that would be the whole thing of me just saying that nobody's perfect, that it's just a word. No one person knows everything. There's always something that person doesn't know. And so when it comes to talking about the stuff that you do know, you do not want to come across as you think you know everything, because you don't. Because there could be someone that comes up, like the example of parents teaching their child, and their child coming back and saying, oh, blah, 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 blah. And you've learned something new, where at the beginning you probably thought that you were the greatest person, and you knew everything, and you were going to teach your child everything you knew, and they're going to be awesome. But in the scheme of things, kids are a lot smarter than most of us.
Until they reach that age.
But yeah, so just making sure that you're using your knowledge wisely, and you're applying it wisely. So you're not just
using your knowledge for nothing. You're applying it with the wisdom that you've gained over the span of however long, right?
So like the whole thing of us gaining the knowledge of karma and the rule of 3, we've learned to start applying it as a tool more than a thing that we should use. We've started using it as we should look at stuff more positively first, and look at what the negative thoughts or the bad actions we would take would have as a repercussion after, rather than doing it and going, oh, that's okay, karma's just going to come back at us later.
And rather than telling people that we know exactly how it works and exactly what happens, we sat here and had a big discussion on it and don't agree on everything.
You just accept it.
And doesn't mean that either one of us is wrong, because at the end, who really knows, right?
Mm-hmm. Number 5 is achieve balance. Wicca is a religion of balance. We embrace the light and dark, the god and goddess. Neither is more important than the other. Both have a purpose. We are to achieve balance in our lives, such as balance in the self, home, personal relationships, what we take from the earth and what we give back, and so on. Balanced life is a good life.
Yin and yang. We talked about this with karma. It's kind of like
pretty much everything's going to probably reference back to karma.
Unfortunately, it all references back to a big thing, but right,
all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you need to have that aspect of, you have your spirituality, and yet you have your mundane. You have your God, but yet you have your goddess. You have your positive thoughts, but yet there are some of those negative thoughts. That's just part of being what we are. We have part of being human.
Ain't it the truth?
Number 7, keep your thoughts in good order.
Number 6.
Well, yeah.
Keep your thoughts in good order.
Sorry, I was reading, the description.
As a witch, your thoughts manifest reality in accordance with your will.
So we got into a little debate about this one earlier.
We got into a debate about number 5 as well, but...
Yeah. So, my whole thing on this one was, if you go in... Say you go into work and you're having a bad day and you have negative thoughts and you have whatever, no matter how hard you try, your day at work is just, it's not going to be a better day. Because you've gone in there and you're all just like, oh, my day's been bad, whatever, I'm going to try. Sometimes it will get better. But most of the time, that negativity just going in your head is just going to continue and that's just going to happen to everybody. But if you... We don't get along with our upstairs neighbor. So we made a protection sachet. So we did that on a day when we weren't agitated with him. But if we would have done that on a day where we were agitated with him, that negativity would have gone into our protection spell. No matter if we intended on it hurting him or not, and we were saying the intentions as in positive intentions, the negativity would still be there.
And I think our biggest quarrel on it was... like her example on the whole having a bad day, it is a lot harder to get your thoughts in order than anyone lets on, personally speaking. You can't just will thoughts away and make everything good when your mind constantly tells you the opposite. And that's my opinion. I understand keeping your thoughts in good order, and I'm personally trying the whole optimism thing and that.
For me, I would just see this one as a goal that you would work towards, because everybody has those days, no matter how perfect your life is, everybody has those days where the thoughts in their head, they just can't control the negativity or whatever, and I think those are the days where you need to just step back from everything and just have a you day, rather than trying to do anything else, because when you try to do anything else, when you have that negativity and you can't do anything about it, it throws you off. And the more you continue to try, the longer it's going to throw you off for. So,
and my issue with that is, what if you can't? You can't take a 2-week-long personal day if you need it. That's my biggest issue with it. But I can understand both points, and I see it, and I see the whole thing of keeping your thoughts positive. I think I find it harder to do so, and it is a work in progress. I don't know, maybe I just wish it wasn't so much of a long work in progress.
Number 7.
Finally, are you sure you're not at 8 already?
Keep your words in good order. So it goes with the first one, and this one just talks about how as your thoughts manifest in reality... As your thoughts manifest reality in conformity to your will, so do words. Words are the verbalization of your thoughts and therefore carry power To not mind your words is the same as speaking chaos magically. Pretty much just think about what you're saying before you say it. Because once it's said, you can't take it back. No matter how sorry you say you are, no matter how much you try to... Once you say it, it's out there.